fan phase. I am joined by Journey tonight. Journey, we're excited to watch Dota, aren't we?
I'm always excited to watch Dota. I love
Uh,
Dota.
this is actually two teams with a lot of lads experience, so really need too many introductions, I would think. But Tempest captain for Joker's team. I guess they're just called the Jokers. They were listed as the Jokers team, but whatever. Um, Still a solid lineup though. Tempest's position for course, the captain for them, if I could pull up his Dota buff, he's ranked 4,000. That's probably the lowest MMR on the team, too. So,
Yeah, not super familiar with the fair few of the players in the lobby myself. I know a fair bit of Dire, but I'm not super sure about Radiant.
yeah. I mean, Nira is a classic. Flesh Canoe, Sav, Arturius, and Snow.
Mhm.
Copy of is Snow. I'm sure it'll swap his name over once we get in.
Yeah,
Hopefully. I need to make a post. But at Joker's team. Anyway, wait, what is his name? Joker's team? At Anyway, what do you think about the draft so far? We have kind of a
pretty.
counter, I guess, in the Rubik pick into OD.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. I feel so far. OD is a pretty strong hero, and Rubik's a pretty good one-to-one counter. Uh, Not super sure what they'll take at 7. I don't actually really know what Dire team plays. I know they're big Mars fans on Snow. Okay, go Void Spirit. Fairly safe.
Radiant team banned.
There we go. Oh, I need to flip these around too. Uh oh, I was gonna add Canoe's team 1-3. Kind of a rough start to the season. God, what did I just
Team banned.
Oh no. Joker's team is 2-2. Sorry, I'm trying to do like two things at once.
No, you're good. No worries.
Anyway, it's gonna be off, whatever. But a Void Spirit into OD seems pretty strong, especially against the defensive Astral. Basically,
Hmm.
just a setup.
Yeah, it's also one of the better ways of beating OD's long range catch, where like you just mass overwhelm him in numbers whenever he tries to play aggressive. So having any heroes that can rotate onto him quickly are generally speaking very good versus him. The Hoodwink pick, I'm gonna assume is a comfort pick. I find it a little odd because it's not like amazing into Rubik or anything. It doesn't really hunt Rubik super hard. It's not bad, but also never really threatens Void Spirit. But Void Spirit pretty easily
Yeah,
threatens Hoodwink.
not a great stun. It's
Yeah,
pretty hard to hit on that hero.
yeah, and it's also not like OD's really going to be setting up either Bushwhack or Sharpshooter. I'd imagine they're going to take some hard stun in their offlane in 16-17 though for the Jokers.
Yeah, I mean, they still got 3 picks to try and shore up some kind of catch for Void Spirit. They're probably
Hmm.
going to get another support here. You think this is going to be OD mid? Or at least, I'm guessing it's going to be OD mid.
I'm sure it'll be flexible for until like 23rd pick, right? Because I don't know if you'd really want to put OD mid versus Void Spirit, because Void Spirit just goes the 0-3-2 build and just pushes the wave into his tier 1 and then farms small
OD
camper
can't really
ganks.
respond yet.
Yeah, and then OD just doesn't really have a counterplay to that. So that alone kind of makes me feel like they're gonna shift it more towards the offlane. The PL ban also kind of indicates that to me. OD obviously struggles against any heroes that can either get on top of him, as I said before, or like overwhelm him in numbers because he's entirely single target. I wouldn't be super shocked based on what the Joker's pick if we see a Wraith King at 18. Wraith King plus another like aggro support typically beats OD in lane 2 because Wraith King Skellies are very good versus OD. And Hoodwink also doesn't really respond too well to these skeletons. You kind of have to run away into the trees from them.
Yeah, that just is, especially if we do get the Wraith King here, that does seem like a pretty strong lane in both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Morphling ban at the very last. Yeah, probably just pick up their extra support here. Guessing it's going to be a Rubik position 4.
seconds remaining.
No, they could just go for the core here. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see the
5
Wraith King
seconds remaining.
banned out. Honestly, it's more
Yeah,
offlaners focused.
I was a little confused by the Mars ban, to be honest. I don't,
Radiant team pick.
from my experience, I don't like playing Mars into either Hoodwink or OD. Because you like blink in, you try to combo somebody on Mars, and Mars' whole gimmick is bursting people and like long range projectile block, and you just get broken, so you don't have bulwark, and it's hard to like combo anybody into the
10
astral.
seconds remaining.
Tide's a good pick.
5
It's again a
seconds
little
remaining.
awkward though that if they get any sort of like disable that doesn't proc Kraken Shell, they can just break him pretty reliably. They could just grab Bane +1 here if they wanted to go that route and try hunting Tide Hunter that way. Or they could always grab something like Disruptor too. Less setup, but it's a good counter into with Void Spirit if he messes up going in on his initiation
Yeah, and at
and
least they
Tide
have
Hunter.
something against the Void Spirit then.
Yeah.
Some kind of
'Cause
catch anyway. It's still hard to land though.
yeah, but you also have the option of like Disruptor plus OD can hunt anybody on around the map. Like Void Spirit has to be very careful that the two of them would go missing. I don't imagine the Jokers will be taking Disruptor, but it is a possibility. But again, I don't really know what they pick.
Radiant team pick.
Oh dear.
Good match. I mean that works too. It's about the simplest option. Just pick a stun.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Stun buffs up the OD too.
And definitely the combo with the OD is going to be strong. And they might be able
10
to do
seconds remaining.
what, Ogre 5 and then they pick their core here. I'm guessing. They'll
5
go for the last pick
seconds
mid.
remaining.
Yeah,
But,
that's what I would assume too.
oh, wait. They still need, yeah, they probably pick their core here.
Yeah, I'd imagine it'll be the carry here because it makes it a little harder to draft if you keep the OD possible, like somewhat flexible. I don't know for sure what they could grab. Ursa's not a bad pick. Rubik doesn't really do anything against him. Tidehunter obviously doesn't do well. The Ursa heavily
Juggernaut,
benefits from Bloodlust. Juggernaut's been banned out, so it
oh,
can't
I
go
didn't even
that,
see this.
sadly. Trying to think what else you could grab.
Seems like an okay Lifestealer game.
I was
Honestly.
looking at Lifestealer 2, yeah. It's a little awkward into instant disable, though. Like, if they get the Aghanims or Orchid onto the Void Spirit, you can kind of hunt him pretty reliably. But they don't really have any damage right now on Dire. That can obviously be solved in the
I was thinking,
18
like,
pick.
what's a core that buys Manta?
Yeah. Actually, now that I look at it, Razor's not banned out. I don't think you can go Lifestealer.
Dire team pick.
I go
Storm
for the mid.
Spirit.
Oh, Storm Spirit, okay.
Kind of unconventional there too. We don't see too many Storm Spirits, and it's another one that unfortunately for the Jokers, Rubik is very nice into.
Yeah, Storm Spirit messes up his initiation. He can definitely be punished. If he's not
10
BKB'd and gets
seconds
caught by
remaining.
a Yule's by Void Spirit, Lift by Rubik, a
5
Silence by Void
seconds
Spirit, he can
remaining.
definitely just get chain stunned and die. They do have a save from OD though, so that makes it a lot easier for them to play on Storm Spirit. But I have to be very careful of how far he overextends, because if he overextends, the OD gets pulled into any bad situations with him. Now what did Dire respond with?
I mean, they could just go for their. Well, we're
I
assuming
still think
Void
the
Spirit's
Erase
going to be
thing, right?
mid here. They still need another support too, unless it's going to be like a weird position for Void Spirit, which
Yeah. I don't think it would, because that just shifts Rubik into an awkward spot too.
yeah.
I think you want Rubik to have
Radiant
farm this game. I think
team
you want to
back.
blink. I think the pick's Wraithing, right? Oh.
Nope.
So
Um.
5 next, okay.
Yeah, well, we might see Wraith King banned.
Yeah.
Dire
I mean,
team
if they can
back.
get it,
Okay.
like you got 2 stuns.
Yeah, I
It's a
think
pretty good
Radiant can
lane.
really run out of damage if they go any sort of survivable core. Because the only like consistent damage coming out right now would be OD. And OD offlane doesn't really do like
10 seconds
a
remaining.
ton of physical
Yeah.
damage if he just gets focused by the Nyx assassin, which is what's gonna
5
happen, right?
seconds
Well, and then
remaining.
like we're back to what core do they want to go for? Which it seems kind of
Radiant
hard.
team back.
And you
Yeah.
mentioned the Ursa that's now gone.
What else? Radiant probably want something to. Oh, what do Radiant want? They don't take Roshan at all, which that could be solved.
With what?
Yeah, what do they pick to get Roshan? Earth has
I
been
was gonna
banned.
like Troll isn't very popular.
Dire team
Yeah,
banned.
Troll's not good. You could Templar Assassin for Radiant. Not the worst Templar game. It lanes well into Tide Rubik.
A lot of
I
minus
think
armor for the Tide too, which is
Lark.
nice.
Okay.
Let's start. I'm not the player here. I kind of like the
Yeah.
TA idea though.
Yeah, TA seems safe.
It's annoying to play into the Rubik. You're gonna have a lot of minus damage
10 seconds
as well from
Mhm.
remaining.
Anchor Smash plus Fade Bolt.
5 seconds remaining.
I think it needs to be something that can like kind of stand its ground. Like I don't think it can be a hero that can be jumped on, because if they take like a multi-pronged like initiation on Dire where like Void Spirit and Nyx go for different targets, OD can't save both. So I think you need to have a hero that can like somewhat hold its own at least for a few seconds until either
Dire team
BKB
pick.
comes out or Bushwhacked or something. All right, Tiny kind of fills that.
And like they short up their damage with that.
Yeah,
They
Tiny
stick.
struggles into lane versus Rubik Tiny or Rubik Tide though. That was like one of the more go-to lanes in TI when Tiny was getting first picked, because you have a lot of minus armor or from Gush, and then
10
you also have a lot of
seconds
minus damage,
remaining.
Yeah,
and Tiny's like all base damage.
I was
5
thinking like
seconds
we
remaining.
have seen Outer World Devour or fucking. Well, I'll just say OD. We have seen OD in a core position before in League of Legends. I think it was a game I casted last week. Didn't turn out too well, but might be something they go for. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
And you go like well, it's mid Storm Spirit guaranteed. I don't think you could change that up, but at least they have some catch for the Void Spirit now. Outside of Canoe. Thinking this is going to be a Snow position 3 Tidehunter, and it's the last
Choose
pick
your
Luna.
hero.
Okay,
That seems
not
fine.
what I
They
thought
have a
they'd
lot.
go.
They
Yeah,
have a lot of decent team fight. Actually,
yeah,
they
it's a
have a
very
really good
well-rounded
team
draft, I
fight.
think, by Dire. Radiance is definitely, I could say bad, but more unique. I don't think very many teams are taking carry Tiny right now.
They really don't have a great way to take Roche either.
Yeah,
At really any point in the game, it's just going to take forever.
yeah. At least OD orbs can kind of help with that, so they have that. Plus, like the Bloodlust can help, but it will be definitely hard to ever take Roche fights into them. They obviously can counter Roche fights pretty well. They have Hoodwink to provide a vision in the Roche pit. They also have Storm Spirit to zip in and out. I think it's going to be a lot of pressure on Beast though this game to like get shit done. I think for the heroes on Dire can hunt him pretty reliably. Like, Ty's not going to hunt him, but make his fights in a little bit more awkward. So OD as well is going to have to like, kind of hardcore cover Beast. I think if Radiant fall far behind off the laning stage, I think they're in a really bad spot. I'm pretty sure the Tide Rubik lane should do pretty well against Tiny, even if they don't beat him, because Ogre is a strong laning support. They do have ways of actually like threatening both Ogre and Tiny throughout the 7 or so minutes of lane stage. So I think that can pose a big problem, because I don't really know how you get past the Tide Hunter without bringing your OD to every single fight.
Prepare for battle.
Well, upside is like you got this long team fight oriented cooldown in the Ravage, and all of
Yeah.
your ultis on the Radiant pretty low cooldown, so you can take fights a lot more consistently throughout the game. They might be able to take advantage of Ravage being on cooldown pretty easily.
Oh, definitely. I think if Radiant can pull ahead kind of early, they're gonna have this really massive burst combo where once Tiny gets his Blink Echo Saber, him and Hoodwink can kill basically any hero on the map.
Yeah.
Maybe but Tidehunter, depending on how tanky Tidehunter is. But Blink Avatos with Sharpshooter should be enough to kill basically anybody else.
Yeah. And I get what you're saying too. It's like if Tiny misses the blink timing or it just comes way too late, it's gonna be a hard game for them because you basically just don't
30
have your
seconds
burst
to
then.
battle.
But anyway, interesting stuff for Tempest. It's the Boots Tangos build, a classic. And Wing pretty decent move speed though, so he does get some benefit there. Beast looking to actually prioritize the block, it looks like. Might be walking back towards that now. We should see 2 and 2, but maybe Canoe and the Canoobs are gonna sneak. Oh, I gotta change the. There we go. I got it. What do we got? 3-1. They did. Canoe actually snuck the top lane or the top river bounty rune. Able taking advantage there, but see where we get in the mid lane. The Storm versus Void Spirit matchup. I think it's slightly Void Spirit favored, but I'm not sure. It's probably coming down to skill no matter what. But again, both of these mid laners have easy ways to farm the jungle, so a catch-up mechanism is going to be there. Decent little block there for Seb too, but it looks pretty even.
Yeah, I'd imagine mid lane will be pretty passive. I'm sure both mid laners is going to push the lane in and then go farm small camp. I don't imagine we seeing any movements by them for quite some time until maybe the power runes spawn. I think the most action-packed lane is probably going to be bottom lane, but once they get Gush going and points and lift, they can get way more aggressive, which they're already seeming to do a lot more damage into Radiant than Radiant are happy with. Tiny's already like half health. Ogre's been burning through regen. He's only got 1 tango left.
And again, the benefit of Ogre is you have a lot of base regen, but you're right, he is already have HP. Arturius is doing a nice job.
Yeah. Personally, not a huge fan of Tide going Kraken Shell level 2. I'm pretty sure with this level 2 advantage, they definitely could have gone for the Ogre kill. Or even if Ogre ever oversteps, they can pump a lot of damage into him. Tiny has 0 base armor.
0 base armor. When he's on the tower, it's a bit better, of course.
Yeah, it's a little bit harder, 3, but he'd still be in the negatives depending on what level Gush he has.
Top lane, the counterpart Nira actually slow starting this game. Just up to 6 CS compared to the 11 on Tiny, but I think Tiny is slightly more base damage, even despite the passive on Nira, so it kind of puts that to good use. Still pretty quiet start of the game, and I think with bottom, he was picking up the level in Kraken Shell, so we're probably not going to see too much kill potential. Maybe we see it the other way. We get an Ogre stun into a Tiny combo. Arturius might have just overstepped his bounds here. They get the toss, they get the stun. Arturius surviving for now. He's still decently tanky, and with boots, he might just be able to walk out of this. One more right click is not going to do it for the Tiny. He also didn't have the tree throw either. Just ran out of the charges there, but might have to go back to base now.
Well, the one good thing about having Tidehunter offlane is he's more than fine solo laning at this point. Obviously, he wants his support to come back, but he's not going to get super pressured in the downtime here, I'd imagine.
The only way he dies is if he gets tossed under tower, which he just tanked the entire combo there, and he's just walking away from both of them. They're doing no damage with right clicks after the anchor smash, so...
His Rubik's got a salve, so he'll bring that in. Yeah, Tidehunter just bought a salve, so those get full, restored back to full. And now Tidehunter will be full, and Tiny will have minimal mana until the stick charges come in.
I feel like that is kind of the downside of picking this Tiny last two, is that it's giving Tidehunter a lot easier of a game. I don't think there's a lot of ways for Tiny to force him out, especially early.
Yeah.
Snow actually going for the meme hammer. Straight up. Wants to push.
Yeah. I don't oppose it. It'll definitely solve a lot of their tower pressure issues, because right now they have like these two supports like Nyx Void Spirit that can gank stuff, but they don't have a way of like getting the map into a position outside of pushing lanes where they want to be able to like kill people. And then you have to bring Luna into all these tower pushes, but that feels very bad into this burst heavy combo we were talking about.
Canoe is going to get low top lane, but I don't think he's going to drop here. Nice little stun from Tempest, but actually pulled the creep wave underneath the tower as Nira, and he's still bottom of the net or bottom of the CS charts. Actually losing out to Defy on the OD right now, so impressive performance from the offlane OD. It's really slowing down that Luna.
Yeah, it's also a symptom of having a Nyx Assassin 5. Nyx Assassin doesn't really do anything. Like, if he overextends, he's just going to get bushwhacked or astral imprisoned, and they just disengage on Radiant. So you kind of have this, like, more or less worthless position 5 sapping XP. At least Flesh Canoe realizes this and is going to go stack the jungle, so Luna can transition.
Oh, nice
out
little stun. Nero's just going to be dead here. They just set up the bushwhack with Astral, and it makes it easy. Nyx nowhere. Flesh Canoe wanted to go stack instead, and I understand it. Like, you have the Luna, but it's an unfortunate time.
Yeah, it seems like this point, Luna's just going to go jungle at this point. I don't imagine she'll be coming back to lane for too long.
Well, the upside, too, is look at the stacks that Artorias has been making down in that triangle. So, despite the slow start, it is a Luna at the end of the day. Can catch up pretty quickly. But this is about as good as you can get from the OD and the Hoodwink, so looking good for Joker's team in the top lane. Because there is a rotation. They're identifying that on Canoe and the Canoobs. Sev is going to TP up. Might look for the jump onto Defy. They connected on the Nyx stun and just getting blocked now by Flesh Canoe. Seth gets on top of him. Charge of the Assimilate brings down Defy. And it's up top lane just a bit. Artorias looks pretty dead in the mid lane. Just dived underneath the tier 1. And Artorias has gotten a pull from Beast there. We'll get his game started. And a DD on top of that too to fill his bottle.
They're going to take the stacks too.
And he's going to get a bounty. They might be able to just get the stacks. There is a scan from Artorias realizing this is going to be happening. But immediately the rotations come out from Canoe. We'll see how much they actually lose here. And it might not even be any. Just a couple of right clicks. No, Sev's going to chase here. Beast is incredibly low. He's out of mana. He might have just pushed it a little bit too far. Stun misses from Tempest. And then Assimilate on Sev. And just getting a bit too greedy. They kill off Artorias, but they don't have the space. It's so early on in the game, he respawns almost immediately. And Snow is going to look for the snacks now. Or snacks, the stacks. I mean, it is like
one more time.
A lot of stuff. Yeah, Snow is essentially getting fed here, and another stack actually happening as they find. Who is Ogre actually?
I'm not super sure, to be honest.
Oh, their name is just All Time Kid. All the time Kid.
Sure
I literally just missed
top lane. Luna just got comboed by OD.
Meteor Hammer built up on Defy, and that instantly leads to a kill.
I don't think Luna's meant to ever return to lane against OD Meteor Hammer. As I said earlier, like, the way you counter this OD Meteor Hammer is you overwhelm him in numbers. But solo Luna walking at him, she's coming back to top lane again. I guess OD just used a hammer.
Luckily, it's on cooldown since he just used it, but bottom lane, we've lost the Rubik. Artorias falling into the combo. The Tiny and Snow really does not have to care at all. But Defy could just find another kill if he wanted to. I don't think the next assassin is going to be his target, though.
Noah's being gone on bottom. I don't think he'll die, though. He should be fine.
Still okay. I'm honestly surprised he didn't go for pipe this game. Really on top lane, Sev is on a killing spree. They found Defy again. Big rotation from the Void Spirit.
Sev is owning.
That's another. He didn't even TP up there. He just walked up there.
Yeah, he just walked. Yeah.
And does miss out on the rune, and it's going to be a very nice rune for the Storm Spirit. Regen picked up. And Snow close to his own Meteor Hammer. Should be looking to push this tower in, but there's a bit of a rotation bot lane from the supports. At least start. Defy is going to stick around top lane, I think. Like you were saying, he just wants to try and zone out the Luna as much as possible. Just force him back into the jungle and try and take this tower.
Yeah.
Bot lane, they find Snow in the trees. There's not level 6 on Tempest, though, so no way to break the armor.
I think this is a very ambitious kill. I think it's way better way to spend your time.
Beast might commit for this, though. There's a lot of damage here. Snow actually using the Ravage. He's probably still going to drop, though. The right clicks from Storm not coming in time. Beast there gets it. The jump from Sev as Beast is completely out of mana, but already spending a lot of his mana there on his own. Sev can't really commit too much further as they lose Artorias. I have no idea how to say Tiny's name, but we lose Flesh Canoe on the next assassin. Tempest with a nice little stun there. Sev with an ulti charge up should be able to get away. Astral Step is long enough into one dissimilate charge. Yeah, and Astral Step away. We'll be fine. Is it Aishlik?
I have no idea. That's what I was thinking too. Just call him A if it's easier.
I'll come. We'll do the Aishlik for now. Like a German.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think it's English. Rubik's getting done on top lane?
We're missing a couple.
No, that doesn't have hammer.
We did lose the tier 1 top lane.
Yeah, Rubik's gonna die anyway, so.
One more right click from Defy. Does he actually have the attack range for it? Arturius getting slowed by the neutral creeps. He's gonna try and deny himself the jukes. He might have actually been able to live there, but he does get the deny nonetheless. And Sev is dominating bot lane. They found the kill on Aishlik. I believe that's actually the top net worth. No, he's not quite. It's actually Beast on top.
Despite been farming a lot.
Yeah, Beast is having an incredible game thus far.
I think the only problem you have is that despite Void Spirit being very high up on the net worth, the Tide and Luna are both also not very high.
Yeah, he is gone. And on to Sharpshooter. Tempest is going to contribute, bring down Flesh Canoe, and it's 2 kills in the bot lane with Joker team. There's a lot of heroes rotating down here.
Yeah, they just want to make sure they can get this tower after rotating OD down here. With no Ravage up for a few more seconds, they want to try pushing their advantage. Because no Seb also has no TP on mid, so he has to walk the bottom, which is not the fastest of rotation.
I'm just surprised they're committing this many heroes to the bot tower, but maybe it opens up that play into the triangle.
Yeah, it opens up the play in the triangle, and it makes it easier to defend your tier 1 tower. Because you know that for sure it's a lot harder to rotate heroes to attack your tower, so you have 1, more time to prep, and 2, less worry of being rotated on if you do defend. And like, you catch them off guard. The problem with that is that you lose the entirety of the top half of the map open, which is going to get Luna back into the game despite OD constantly running at him, which I'd imagine is the point of the smoke. Try catching people for the 12-minute rune and going to the mid tier 1.
There's an arcane rune in the river, jumping in his beast, finds Snow. The Sharpshooter, if it connects, will break that armor for now. Arturius gets spotted in the mid lane as Defy goes for the Meteor Hammer, nothing to cancel it. They get a stun on Snow as well, and the damage might just be enough to Ravage a little bit late. Snow is just going to fall underneath the tier 1. And that'll just lead to another tower for Joker's team. As maybe they can find something with Sev. As the Time Kid gonna drop. They do get a stun on top of Sev. The combo broken up by Yule's there. As Beast goes for a grab, it's on to Flesh Canoe. Defy is gonna look for an Astral, but nothing coming out. He doesn't quite have the cast range. Beast gonna continue to jump for this, but the Arcane Rune, it's making it possible. The Aether Remnant taunts Beast up, will continue to chase. Actually finish this one off. Sharpshooter going to be dodged by the Dissimilate. Jumps to the low ground, but Snow is here now. Of course, he already committed the Ravage. Goes for the Meteor Hammer, but can't finish it. Beast is just able to get out of it. AoE there might continue to look for Aishlik, but the rest of Joker's team is still rotating up here. Defy with the Astral. Can't go for the Meteor Hammer here. The stun misses from Hoodwink. They're going to chase Defy with Flesh Canoe. Might even look for a 2-man stun, though, just going to chase OD instead. Wants to make sure that stun's going to land. They go for the Meteor Hammer. They find Defy. I think there's any way he's surviving that. Aishlik gets his combo, though. They find Flesh Canoe. Arturius dropping very low in the middle. Beast jumps through, gets the kill onto Arturius. In comes Nero, though. Does he have an ulti? No, he doesn't have it skilled. They still bring down Beast. He's just sitting on top of the Tide and the Luna. The Sharpshooter is going to finish off Nero. They get all the Time Kid on this side. Aishlik, the stun missing from Tempest. He missed the combo. It was the wrong order, and Sev is going to get an unstoppable streak. Continue looking for Tempest, but I don't think he has the damage. One right click is going to do it. Tempest is getting the jukes, but he's got him. Sev with the double kill Wicked 6 streak. Everyone dying, basically, except for Void Spirit and what else? Tidehunter. Now Void Spirit might die.
Yeah.
No, Dissimilate was just there. He's still gonna drop.
Good kill by Defy. A little awkward though from a Tiny there too. I'm pretty sure he grabbed the tree that Hoodwink was aiming for. tossing the kill on the Tide Hunter. But good fight from Dire for sure. I didn't think Luna would show up to any fights for quite some time. I don't think you really want to like, run that far forward. Only 2 points in Lucent Beam, no ultimate. I think Luna's better off just farming for now, but definitely a very good fight from them, especially considering they have no Ravage until now. So if they want to, Dire can look to make it a play, because Nick Assassin now has Vendetta too. A War gets spotted by Storm Spirit bottom though. A little unfortunate for Flesh.
Storm is gonna back off. We have a lot of. Well, we got our 2 Meteor Hammers anyway up in this game. Nira's got a Mask of Madness plus the Dragonlance picked up. That's basically everything of note. We're going eggs on OD. Immediately after the Meteor Hammer, there is Kai Assange up on the Storm Spirit, and I'm curious to see what he has queued up next, actually.
I would imagine it'd be a BKB next item. I think
Nothing
anything
queued.
else would just be awkward to fight with, unless he's depending that hard on the double save from OD, which I think is like a little too ambitious, seeing how Nyx and Void Spirit are going to go for him first every fight.
You give away a tier 1 bot lane. They potentially look for a tier 2. Be the first tier 2 of the game.
Radiant has set up in top jungle right now. It's going to be very hard if Dire want to take the fight up here.
A lot of vision, yeah. They're basically just gonna have to try and retake it. They want to. I mean, they could just play away from this, but I don't know. If they're gonna get aggressive here, they have a siege creep.
Yeah, they can bloodlust the siege creep too in a few seconds. It'd be very hard for them to take the fight. They wasted Fortify too, actually. Oh, maybe not.
Get rid of the creep wave, very least. Maybe they can find a mid tier 1 at the same exact time. So while they're spending a lot of time top lane, a couple of exterior towers being taken by Canoe. And actually, are they going to get mid? Snow going to go for the Meteor Hammer. There's a smoke from the rest of the team towards top lane. They are going to try and retake this again. A lot of vision up here for the Radiant. Sev's going to find Tempest, immediately gets the Yules. If they can get a start on the support, the jump in from Beast finds Arturius, but the stun from Flesh Canoe not on time. They found Tempest. They might be able to find Nira at the very least. This ulti, is it enough to kill? I think he's actually just survived. Beast could jump in. No, he actually is dead after the Astral there, but they lose Defy. The ulti actually stolen by Arturius. I didn't even realize it till after the stun on top of Sev gets the grab from Beast. Beast can finish off too. All-time Kid actually going to pick up the kill on Flesh Canoe, and Canoe loses 4. I think they're just going to have issues with the Storm Spirit this game.
Yeah, I feel like they just kind of keep blowing a lot of spells. Like Void Spirit uses an entire combo in the Hoodwink. They're going for like different targets. I think they kind of have to just focus one target at a time with this draft until Luna has BKB. I also really don't think Luna should be shown to any fights until her BKB comes up.
I mean, Luna Nira just gets caught to the side of the fight there entirely. The stun from Ogre, and essentially surrounded by the rest of Joker's team.
Luna very much has to play very far behind his team. I think he's just meant to play off his Lucent Beam if he's showing up to fights. And then after the Storm Spirit and Tiny like hard commit into the fight, and like the Ravage goes out and the stuns are flying and stuff, then he can pop his Eclipse and like walk forward. After there's a lot less threat, but like when Storm Spirit's hovering in this area off to the side of him and Tiny's still there and Ogre has a stun and all that stuff, it's a lot more difficult to walk in because one stun you get comboed. Because no matter what point in the game you're at, Radiant Team's going to have...
Might just lose Sev mid lane as the stun. Oh, I think there's a sentry for the Shadow Blade. This is a good pickup from Aishlik, as Flesh Canoe also going to go invis. He almost certainly would have led to a death there for Sev, but he's able to make the play. I think he can just dissimulate the stun anyway, but... Last, we're kind of just trading map space right now. Quiet down a little bit. Beast handedly on top of the network chart by almost 2k gold. Had a couple of good fights this game. We're back to the farming stage though. I guess it's basically what did I expect?
Yeah.
The Luna pick, essentially.
Nira's closing out on BKB, which is very good, but Tiny as well is also Not super far ahead. He's a little bit low in level, but comparative to Luna, which is good for sure. I think Radiant ideally want to take a fight before Luna gets to the BKB. She's closing on it very fast, so this is basically the prime time to kill her without having to chain stun her. I guess Storm's also really close to BKB, so it's a bit hard to force right now, but it is
One
an
of their
option
own.
for them.
And you're still third on the network chart right now, but definitely in a position that one good fight could put them on top, especially if they find a kill on the Storm Spirit.
Getting
I
a
feel
tier
like
2
this is
top
kind
lane
of
for
just
free.
Top lane is almost gone. Snow is gonna get the deny. Yeah, downside of having a lineup where you don't really have a way to take Roshan. Neither team really, at this point, has the ability to. So
The next fight looking like it'll be a big one for sure. Tide just bought Blink. Luna Storm gonna have BKB. The Void Spirit's gonna have Aghanims in a few seconds. Definitely will be a difficult fight for both teams to take.
like you said, Nira's still gonna be
Radiant are
playing
gonna smoke
passive
in a
here, but I
second, I
think he's
believe.
got his BKB. He does.
Yeah, Radiant's about to smoke to the triangle and Dire.
It's a BKB
So I
on
guess that'll
Beast
be the
as
fight
well,
where
so yeah, this is the timing. And well, which one's gonna be better? We might even get a smoke on Canoe at the exact same time we do. They're walking through their triangles. It's the same time in the jungle. Sev's gonna get some of these spotted. Flesh Canoe is gonna have a bit of an advantage here as they try and look for one. Snow with an ulti on the backside, gets the blink way onto the backside. Nira not getting a lot of damage from his ulti, but might be able to find Tempest to the side. They get a hoodwink at the very least. Beast has to go defensive with his BKB. Now he can go for Artorias to the side, gets a free kill on the Rubik, and will back away. Maybe they can get A-Schlick. He almost has the Shadow Blade back up, so they're gonna need vision here. Don't think they actually
they have Dust
have
in 4
that.
seconds on the Nyx. They can catch him.
They need nope.
Dust in 1.
This is gonna be close. Yeah. Okay. Now with the rotation from Seb, they get it. But yeah, that went perfect for Canoe. They didn't get the jump with the Tiny, and
Yeah.
Storm getting caught up by the Ravage was huge.
I think they messed up the combo on Luna. They caught her in the bushwhack, and then it was only Tiny with the avalanche for the stun, which obviously the mini stun. So Luna just BKB'd and turned on them. And in the meantime, OD also got ravaged in the bottom area down here, so he couldn't even do anything to help the people who were being gone on. A very awkward fight for sure. Storm Spirit also uses BKB to go in, but realized he couldn't into that fight, so just kind of walked away and then jumped to Rubik after the fact. Immediate smoke up again by Radiant.
Yeah, another smoke. They might be able to find Sev. This is a decent kill if they can get it. He is going to pop a smoke. He's already used it to stimulate. Can't get the Astral Step, though. There's into a defensive Yules. No silence. Gets one Astral Step. Stunned up by the Ogre. Can he get a second one? He's pretty tanky, though. Might be able to get the jump. Snow with the two-man Meteor Hammer. The Aetheron Remnant misses. As Beast going to continue to jump for this. Pops a BKB. And still has plenty of mana. Stun the Bushwhack there, connects on the Flesh Canoe backside as well. I think that's actually Rubik stealing the Astral, using it on Defy. There's another jump on the Flesh Canoe. He's stunned with the armor. He's out of mana entirely. Nira looking for a target. He has to use BKB of his own. They've lost Beast, and now Nira can maybe look for Defy with Snow on top of him as well. He's got eggs up, so it's 2 charges. And the Astral, in comes A-Schlick from the side, though, just cleaning up Nira without his BKB. He can't survive the combo. What a rotation from the Tiny. They might just get Artorias. He can survive for just a bit longer with the Astral. Snow is able to get out, but all over the place.
The amount of Astrals. Can't tell whose is whose.
We're gonna get Rubik eggs at some point too, if this game goes long enough. 4 Astrals potentially. Sev is gonna respawn here, and I don't know. It's a lot of people on Joker's team contributing to this game right now. A-Schlick with a very nice rotation there.
They very much know what their draft's meant to do, which is very good by them.
Is this a good
as soon as they lost the fight,
all-time pick? Lose the Ogre. Both Astral Charges used here as Artorias. There's the combo. They might just be able to find Sev. He dodges a bit of the combo with the Yules and getting the jump from Beast. There's enough to finish off Artorias. That was a super long jump. He just brings him down.
Beast used BKB.
And
I don't think they can force super hard. Luna still has
there's a
BKB and Ravage is
stun,
back
and
up.
I don't think they can dive this too far. Yeah. Hoodwink.
Here comes Ravage.
Snow just going in with the Meteor Hammer as well. Can he actually finish? It's against the double Meteor Hammer again. Ashlick and Defy fall right on top of each other. Beast survives. Holy moly. They might be able to get Tempest too, but this is going to be a hard chase.
He's got TP up. He's probably.
Instead
Oh,
of leading in.
he's going
Oh
for
my
it.
goodness, they're trying to go for a kill. Instead,
I
they
don't
need
think
a
he does,
stun though.
Good
He
turn.
misses on the sharpshoot, completely out of mana, and silenced up his beast. He just loses his life. He gets baited in. Tempest might survive even still, but now that the Storm Spirit's gone.
Ambitious play from Radiant. It's a lot harder for them to play now. As I was just talking about how well they understood their draft, Radiant's biggest strength, as we talked about, is that they can just pump out damage at any point with no ultimate. Now that Storm Spirit's dead, it's an extra 45 seconds where they can't fight, and Ravage's cooldown is coming back off faster. And now they have to
And
kind
well,
of face out
Snow
from
might
that.
just be dead here. This is a very dangerous Meteor Hammer. Okay, he's good.
Kind of an alpha move when your entire team's another half of the map. And now Radiant's just going to play passive until Ravage comes back up. It'd be very hard for a Radiant team to get the lanes pushed out in a position where they can make a play until Ravage comes up.
I would think they might be able to use the next one to go for something like Roshan too.
Yeah, that's what I think they'll do.
A little hard. Flash Canoe can't stun the
easy
Storm
one.
Spirit with BKB. But another charge down. He's actually just down to 6 seconds
Yeah,
already.
that's 6 seconds now.
Same thing for Nero though.
Been playing very well in the Storm Spirit as well. Been catching a lot of big targets. Problem is that kill is probably not going to lead to anything. There's only real objectives left is the mid tier 2 and bottom tier 2. I don't really see how Radiant goes for
They
Roche.
will go for Roche here. I think this might have been spotted though.
I guess they don't have Route for 15. They can definitely take the fight.
And you're right actually with the OD. Does
But
make
Route would
this
be up a little sooner.
not too bad. So first Roshan. And Aegis going to Beast. Probably best Aegis carrier in the game. I think Canoe just playing smartly here though. They're sitting on their own triangle, just using the high ground to their advantage. They are going to spot the Ogre, so this might just be a free pick before a fight's even started. And well, good positioning pays off.
Tiny has his BKB coming in on Courier, I believe. Yep. It's full BKB on him. Makes fights a lot easier for him too. No
That's a
worrying about
strong
the
timing. He's
clusters.
just got the only 9-second BKB in the game now.
Yeah. Void Spirit's gonna have his soon. So next class, both of them will have their 9 seconds. I definitely think
They're
Radiant
gonna fight
can
before he gets BKB though on Void Spirit.
ambitious, I'll say. It's definitely gonna be a. They're not looking for a full fight. They're looking for like a one-off pick. All their lanes are in relatively good spots, maybe outside of top lane, but that's why they're going to top lane. Because any heroes that are pushing out top lane are probably going to naturally retreat down into their ancient area. Just catch them in the process of regrouping their team. But I think Dire or Radiant knows what's up. No one showing your tier 3 being hit. Makes it a little bit more obvious.
Kind of just hiding
Yeah.
back underneath the tier 2 as they go for a smoke of their own. Now that smoke's over, they're going to be able to spot them underneath a couple of wards. And Snow as well, spotted by Ashlick to the side. Be a decent jump if they can land the sharpshooter, but they're going to find Flesh Canoe again. This is almost Deja Vu, as Beast didn't stun himself up there. He actually just waited long enough. Snow is able to get away with the Blink Dagger. They will secure the outpost again, but they get another kill on the Nyx Assassin. Ega's still up, but on top of the network chart now, he's basically just farmed his way there. Is Nira.
The cool play by Beast too. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but he hit the Nyx Assassin when he carapaced as he was Ball Lightning. So he would have stunned himself, but because you're immune in Ball Lightning, he didn't get carapace stunned. So then you can attack him after the fact without being worried about it. Small thing, I don't even know if it's intentional or not, but either way, pretty cool nonetheless.
Oh, I think we might just use Tempest here. Sev is actually going to jump on top of the Snow as well with the Ravage of the Lift. On top of that, they're not going to connect on the Meteor Hammer, though. The Silence and the BKB from Defy gets committed. Icelick on the backside. They find Artorias, they find Snow, and Sev is just trying to survive with the BKB first charge of his own. Maybe looking for Beast. He doesn't have the damage, though. Survival 70 HP.
Looking for the remnant.
Sev,
Oh,
it just misses.
yeah, they took that fight when Luna was on bottom wave. She was showing on the wave, so Radiant team went aggressive. And the Ravage came out, and then she TP'd in after. Pretty big miscommunication that might even cost them a Rax. With Tiny Shard as well, they can definitely keep pushing. And this force only to kill off this wave. They have another wave coming in. Very big misplay by Dire.
A lot of building damage here too. They're gonna maybe jump for Sev as a TP.
Maybe Luna coming in behind. They could keep the fight after if they want.
Might actually cost them Rax as they lose. Melee guaranteed in that range, not looking very healthy either. There's a lift there for all time kid. Sev getting used up on his own. Near on the backside comes in with the BKB. They find a kill onto Aishlik as Beast is able to get away after the Aegis was popped. Dies to the side.
Brave, but stupid.
And I don't think there's any way they find this. They might be able to find the Ogre. It's probably the easiest target. You're not going to be able to find Beast, but he'll take it. Ogre gone.
Oh, did he not see clear with the damage he took to a DD Luna?
There is... there's a sentry right on top. He couldn't quite stun up Beast. Beast committing a lot of mana there. Sev could maybe continue to dive. I don't think they can push. Maybe with the Meteor Hammer. Do they go for a tier 3 here?
They can fort this wave here and zip past to cut to any coming in wave. So they should be fine, but they'll get like half damage in their tier 3, I'd imagine. There's also the threat of the buyback coming in from Tiny or whatever, or OD or whoever, when the storm goes in. Don't imagine it'll happen when there's 10 seconds left, but I think going high ground is probably not the best play.
They might be going top instead.
Yeah, I think right now your best bet is have Manta Illusions from Luna cut top lane. And then... I don't know if I'm a huge fan of this move right now by Luna. Luna TPing top right here forces her entire team to run to top lane too. Because that just exposed Nyx Assassin bottom lane, and now Radiant team has complete control of mid and bottom. You have Ravage up, so like... I don't really see a reason that you keep bullying any support kills like this randomly. When you could have had Luna Illusions cut top, maybe if you wanted to, you could run one hero back and have them bots into like an outpost bottom or bot tier 2. And then you could look for an aggressive play. But now because Luna TP'd up there, they were forced to move their entire team up there. And that probably is going to mean the bottom tier 2 on Dire dies too. Small mistakes like that can definitely change the tide of the game.
I mean, they're immediately back to it though. Tier 2 bot lane. Pressured by Schlick. Bring that down with a couple of right clicks with the tree there. And Snow gonna go for the Meteor Hammer. A very cheeky one at that, as it's gonna clean up most of the creeps.
Double Astral.
Now, technically only... Wait. OD's got 2. Arturia still doesn't have 3. They get the break! Snow was just gone! They had the damage after the Astral. So we see the combo again, a BKB used by Tiny as Aishlik. Oh, Snow.
Your anger is useless here.
That's not gonna work.
Good attempt.
I mean, had they been more aggressive, it would have worked, but I think really reading that situation beautifully was Joker's team.
Definitely. Now the problem is, how does Dire fight for the next little bit? Roshan spawning very soon. They don't know when, but we're roughly within the territory of it being able to spawn. So Radiant can basically just get any map control they want right now, with no real response from Dire. Unless they're determined to fight without Ravage.
They could just keep pushing, right? Like, they know the Ravage is down for another 110.
They can. It's just a little awkward to go high ground. Because if you do and you risk somebody getting bursted even without the Ravage, if they lose the fight, it could just mean Roshan goes to Dire. They can still go, but probably have to wait for Tiny BKB and see maybe if they can catch somebody beforehand.
Yeah. They might, if they get lucky, with the Roshan respawn. To be perfect.
Yeah.
I think Ravage might be up before that next Roshan respawn. Eggs picked up by Beast. Pretty decent on the Storm. He's also gonna find a regen rune. That's why he's keeping around that bottle in his inventory. Hobbs is pissed because Snow built Meteor Hammer on Tidehunter.
Stupendous!
I think the pipe's fine.
Listen, I don't hate the Meteor Hammer just because it lets you force objectives early, right? Like, you don't want to bring Luna
Yeah,
into
they
the
took a
fights
lot of
early.
towers with it.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst idea.
Especially
It's also
if
been,
you
like,
get
kinda
the
sour
the shard at 20 minutes too. You suddenly have a lot of pushing power.
Yeah. That would be an ambitious build, but... Oh, Ogre's almost like Guardian Greaves already. Not the worst item for sure. Bulks up your team a fair bit. Tiny closing in on a Satanic.
Jump on a couple of illusions mid, but we did not get Roshan, but it's still a short respawn, 15 seconds. We do have to Ravage up before that respawn though, so we couldn't get a fight around the pit. There's not a lot of good vision, or a scan up actually, for Canoe. So it's gonna respawn. They might not even know Joker's team are taking it, especially if they check it right now. That'd be perfect. I think they are. Yeah, Beast is. What a gamer. But yeah, without the scan, it's gonna be pretty hard for them to contest Roshan. They might just need to run over there. Maybe even shove a wave too, because you know, the other way you're gonna get knowledge on where the other team's at is if
well, I think from Dire.
waves are shoved. Shard on the ground. It looks like that's gonna go to Tempest. Decoy. It's an okay pickup. Solid pickup.
Yeah. It's a good shard. I thought it'd go to Storm Spirit, to be honest. I feel like more damage is pretty powerful. I believe it applies to Acorn Shot too. I don't know for sure, but I would imagine it would. There's even more burst damage onto your Hoodwink. Like, pass the shard to somebody else, right? Pass it to Ogre. Okay. And that was the other shard I was thinking about getting. Pretty good versus Luna. Knocks off a fair bit of the damage from the first few glaives she throws out.
But yeah, we get a little quiet for the last couple minutes here as Jokers just want to continue to build this advantage. It's still only a 65% win chance. Go to plus. They are up by 8k net worth. But I don't know, it feels like they have a bigger advantage just because the racks are gone.
Oh, it's not even that. It's also the fact that, like, the net worth on Luna is basically the only difference between teams. Luna's obviously on top, and then Tiny and Storm Spirit 2 and 3. But, like, Luna needs more HP items, I feel. If she wants to guarantee she can survive in fights, she's going Satanic, which I think is the best item for her. Probably Satanic and Scotty, or something along those lines.
Artorias
That way she can survive the burst. If she fails to survive the burst, her net worth won't be too useful.
And he could buy out the Reaver, but yeah, he's probably just going to save for buyback here. The blink in, they get the lift on Tiny instantly at the start of this fight. Do they have burst, though? The save from the Astral plus the shard being up means he can just walk away. What a shard.
They gave Astral the Rubik, though. Makes going high ground way harder.
Bulljax wants Journey face cam.
Why?
Can inquire with Bulljax.
I'll message him now.
Yeah, Artorias also with the shard is going to kind of help this as Beast jumps in onto the Tidehunter instantly using that BKB. So Snow has kind of free reign now. They could fight this if they want to. There's the Blink Ravage. They want it. They get on top of Beast. Of course he has the Aegis, but he's already committed to BKB. They lose Snow as they bring down the Storm Spirit once. Can they actually find a second stun, though? They do with the spiked Carapace. The stuns are not quite enough, but there's Sev with the Dissimulate. Perfectly timed by the Void Spirit. Artorias is going to walk uphill and die instantly. Buyback is here for Beast. They're just trying to finish the game right now. Nira might be a prime target for that Storm Spirit buyback as well. The jump, Arturius, what a play to kill off the OD. As Defy is going to drop, Arturius unfortunately loses his life. He spent a buyback early on in this fight, but Manta illusions are bringing down
Brave,
all
but
the time, kid.
stupid.
And a lot of buybacks spent in that fight. 3 total, 2 on the side of Canoe. But a huge one for Joker. We even get another one for all the time, kid. B spending his, that was huge. If he dies again, this game is blown wide open for Canoe.
Definitely. It's very hard to defend the racks, though. Kinda can flip the bottom lane, too.
Diving in for
Beast is
Nira. Be
in.
careful with the Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, definitely.
Got the
Overstepping
BKB up again, though. Sharpshooter coming in. There's Manta Illusions there. Connects on top of Nira. Beast maybe going to think about diving in, but they've gotten the tier 3. This stun is just a little bit too short.
Beast is definitely eyeing up to go in. He has BKB. There's no real counter.
Yeah, they jump in onto Nira. Can't get a BKB off his own. Look at the duration of that pull. Nira might just die to right clicks. He does. He might have to spend the buyback too, as Snow is coming up very soon. Zev is trying to do all he can with his own buyback.
Very bold of Flesh Canoe in there to get that far forward when your team's respawning in like 10 seconds. The Rax is going down regardless. Just give the Rax and play in the fountain for a few seconds. Now Luna has buyback or fall back, and Tiny's still gonna hit the Rax.
Still,
Luna
they're gonna lose Megas for sure, but maybe they can get Tiny on the side.
I think Luna's gonna die
little
again.
BKB and down goes Snow. That's a dieback, I believe, is cannot come back into this. Arturius with the sharpshoot, not gonna happen. Nira just spent his buyback. That's gonna be it, I think. You get the buyback from Snow, but there's no way you can make. Only the 2 of them are up right now. You lose Luna for 120. And that's just going to be GG called by Nira. Snow with a nice little Ravage and the Meteor Hammer. Doesn't quite get the kill on the Ogre. Instead, going to die.
Well, Radiant played pretty well, in all honesty. I'm not gonna say I didn't have faith in their draft. I thought their draft would be way harder. I thought Storm Spirit would have a way harder game. I thought that he'd get pressured a little bit more on the map. I don't think the Nyx Assassin did, not gonna say did a ton, but like, it never felt like Nyx Assassin was setting up ganks. It always felt like they were playing responsive instead of proactive on Dire, which definitely isn't what you want to do when you have Nyx Assassin and Void Spirit who can roam around together. But Beast also played very well. I think Radiant team, whoever calls their shots, knows exactly what they want to do. Because there was times where Radiant lost a fight, they respawned, they smoked, and they ran at them. Like the fight bottom laner, I think it was. They smoked as like 5, got destroyed, respawned, smoked again, and got like 2 kills. So they clearly know what they're doing, where they make up for any small mistakes they have by like having a better overall game plan of what they want to be doing. So kudos to them. So I need to reboot my game because my game is bugged.
Okay.
So
yeah, just join the lobby too. Get back. Anyway, I'm gonna go get some water. We will be right back for game 2.
Welcome back.
Uh, yeah, we're good. Should mark the win too, but I guarantee they don't.
Full text is pretty good about that. I never have to worry about that stuff.
Apparently, Sev had 20 seconds to buy back. Or he had 20 seconds to respawn in that last fight. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's like they probably just lose the game in that 20 seconds anyway.
Yeah, probably. I think it's something you had to do, right? They got themselves into a kind of icky spot, but that's Dota. I definitely think going into the next game, Canoe, like the Canoe team, is to be a lot more mindful of their like larger scale map movements. I think small stuff like the Luna TPing top towards the end of the game was really problematic for them. Obviously, it's like a one-off incident, but like you traded away your Nyx Assassin bottom outpost, bottom lane, mid lane, and a tier 2 to farm like a creep wave top, or like 2 creep waves top and top jungle. And it's like against Radiant T or the Joker's team, who was like very clearly proven that they know what they want to do and know how to execute it. It seemed like they're gonna punish you if you do that type of stuff. Because they, as soon as Luna went top lane, they all ran bottom lane, killed Nyx, went to tier 2, killed tier 2, and then that snowballed into Luna having to run back from top tier 1 area, Tidehunter whiffing the Ravage, and so on and so on. Like, obviously, that's a hyper extension of the thing that happened, but it still happened, and that's a probably shouldn't happen again if they can fix it. Oh, they also marked the win. Good for them.
Dude, it's pretty poggers. Um,
10 seconds remaining.
by the way, I do have.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh, hold on. I do have all my VODs on a YouTube channel. Because I noticed that all of my VODs get deleted on Twitch after a while. So, if for some reason like super old VODs don't show up, just go to the YouTube channel and it should be there. I think I'm missing like maybe some season 6, season 7 casts, but that's about it. I don't think I've ever mentioned that before.
Dire team ban.
Yeah.
Dire team.
Do you know why Radiant team banned Grimstroke? Dire big Grimstroke players, or am I missing something?
Did they ban it game 1? I don't
I'm trying
remember.
to think. I don't think so, right?
10
Wasn't it like
seconds remaining.
Spirit Breaker, Weaver bans by Canoe and the
5
Canoobs, and
seconds
then
remaining.
I don't remember what else
It
was
was
banned.
Weaver, but they go for OD Weaver this game. Hoodwink on. So we have 2 response bans there. And I like
Dire
the OD
team
ban
dead.
because I'm sick and tired of OD.
Invoker.
Dude, every time OD is in the meta, I get sick and tired of OD.
Tidehunter. Radiant team
I
dead.
never mind OD. I think he's a cool looking hero and has some cool voice lines.
If the mechanics weren't so annoying.
Yeah, I know a lot of people hate him. I'm sure I'm in the minority,
It's like
but
the same thing with techies too. I don't think techies
oh,
would be as
dude,
bad if the
10
I
mechanics weren't
seconds
love
annoying.
remaining.
techies. Techies is my most favorite hero to play against. I don't know why,
5
but I get a big
seconds
smile on my
remaining.
face when I randomly fucking blow up. It makes me so happy. It's so weird.
It's pretty
Such a
funny,
fun
but
hero.
dude, you probably loved like original techies then.
Oh, I did. I loved Techie's Tusk combo was my favorite combo.
Huh.
Me and my
Radiant
friends made
team
so many
ban.
people abandon back then. It was
Oh
so
yeah, the
good.
old suicide was actually so good.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, I
Bring it
kind of like
back,
the newer
please.
one better
Dire
because it's
team
more of
ban.
Oh yeah,
a skill shot now, at least. But
yeah, definitely.
old
And it
suicide
makes it
was
like,
something else.
do they play put 4 Invoker or is there a reason why they 6-7 Invoker tied? I know
10
it does
seconds
well in the Spirit
remaining.
Breaker. It's very hard for Spirit Breaker to ever connect with the
Probably going mid.
Invoker.
5 seconds
I would
We've
remaining.
imagine
seen
so,
a
right?
lot of, especially the last 2 nights casting, teams go for first or second pick mid laners. I don't know why. Just noticed that recently within a lot of
Radiant
people's
team
drafting.
ban.
But
Hmm.
Kunkka might even be going mid in this game too. We don't know. Obviously, they can
Yeah,
still flex it, but
I'd imagine so. I'd imagine the same idea what they had the OD last game, the 8th pick, flexible core. Kunkka can realistically go safe lane, off lane, or mid lane.
10 seconds
Probably
remaining.
more so for the first two. And then you can decide as the draft goes
5
on.
seconds
I'm pretty
remaining.
sure they want to put this Kunkka against the Invoker. I don't really see why you wouldn't. It's definitely a response pick. Kunkka's not picked to counter out Tidehunter, despite the lore
well, that's why I
Dire
think
team
it's weird.
ban.
things.
A lot of these teams are just first or second picking their mid because they're like, well, I'm just gonna get this right at the start, and then the
Radiant
other
team
team's like, well,
ban.
if you're gonna pick it, I'm gonna pick it because we can just counter you.
Yeah. I'm sure they have a lot of faith in Beasts, and like I mean, he's drafting. I'm sure he knows like against Spirit Breaker, you typically want a mid here that doesn't get ganked easily. Pucks,
10
Void Spirits,
seconds
Ember
remaining.
Spirits, anything that has like some interrupt. And Invoker has
5
both Tornado
seconds
and Cold
remaining.
Snap, which Cold Snap also destroys Breaker throughout the game, and Tornado purges Bulldoze. So definitely a good
Kunkka,
pick.
yeah, but maybe slightly decent into the Spirit Breaker then, but of course Spirit Breaker incredibly strong in this meta.
Dire
Very
team
popular
ban.
pickup.
I would imagine Dire is going to grab another 4 position, similar to the Hoodwink, that offers a lot of kill threat on the map. Something similar to
10
like Lion,
seconds
I feel
remaining.
wouldn't be too bad. It's not great in Spirit Breaker though, but again does offer
5
some forms of
seconds
interrupt.
remaining.
Even Dark Willow's not a bad option. They might actually look for that at 15 pick, depending what they ban here. I'm not super sure what else you could go. I don't
Looks
think
like
you'd
mostly
want.
cores again. The Quap ban. So they are expecting this Kunkka to be somewhere else.
Yeah, they could also put the Co-op safe lane. It lanes pretty well into Tidehunter. You outrange him and you just pump a lot of damage into him that he can't really crack and shell off. If you go for more points into Scream, which you typically do right now. And Tidehunter really never pressures a Queen of Pain anyways. Good ban. I think they just want to make sure the Invoker doesn't get overwhelmed with numbers. They're probably looking at something else similar to that. I don't really know what
He's still
Radiant could be
already gone.
considering.
Hoodwink gone.
Faceless Void's not a bad ban, I feel. Unless they plan on drafting some from the save.
Dire team pick.
Not banning out Void.
Dude,
What
I'm
could we?
surprised we don't see very many Pudges in League of Legends.
Yeah,
I feel like Pudge would work in a lot of these drafts.
yeah, yeah. I think the hero has potential. I think the problem is the hero is really weak in lane to the point where
It's true.
like
That's
yeah,
if
just
you
10
miss
like,
your
seconds
hooks,
remaining.
Journey. If you hit your
exactly.
hooks, he's
Oh,
number
I
one.
definitely agree.
5
Yeah,
seconds
you can definitely
remaining.
abuse the Son of the Hook stuff. Pick like Saiyan King, Pudge, or whatever. The problem is you counter
Radiant
Saiyan
team
King,
pick.
then
Meneska has
no, there's a
arrived.
Dark Willow. Yeah. You counter Saiyan King or whoever the stunner is, and Pudge just kind of crumbles, and then you win your safe lane guaranteed. And for the most part, carry players I think are like probably the highest MMR average, maybe alongside mid in the league, while supports are
10
probably in the lower
seconds
end in most
remaining.
cases. So it's a little bit scarier
5
to depend on a
seconds
lower MMR
remaining.
player like a 5K, 6K player to beat the 7K core. Maybe that's why I don't imagine teams are considering that aspect, but you never know, right? Somewhat. Right, I want to carry that can play the map and not die. Probably talking about Juggernaut, but
Radiant
Juggernaut kind of is a
team
shit
pick.
hero.
Witch Doctor.
Dude, we get the Witch Doctor. Pretty poggers hero.
So they want to grab a carry that does damage. I feel like they're looking at Jug for sure. What other carry poses that much kill threat onto
10
him or
seconds
onto
remaining.
Tidehunter? If you're not picking Witch Doctor into Tidehunter without having like a
5
kill hero,
seconds remaining.
like Weaver, Slark, even Gyro,
Dire
Jug.
team pick.
They could do
Skyrath
Gyro. It's not
Mage.
bad. Skyrath Mage. Okay. I guess they're still keeping
It's
the
pretty
option of
solid in
Kunkka
every
carry.
like that's pretty it's bad into the Tidehunter, I think, but the other two, Invoker,
10
Dark Willow,
seconds
Like basically just lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
5 seconds remaining.
Their draft seems a little wonky, but like you got a lot
Yeah.
of squishy heroes now, and this guy in the Witch Doctor.
Radiant team ban.
And that's only two, but you know what I mean.
Uh, I think it'll be hard for Scarce to like reliably combo people though, right? Because like you only really
Not
have
much
Torrent
stun.
and Witch Doctor so much as 1 second. It's like you're not gonna have like a.
Oh,
I
they
guess Witch Doctor.
still Faceless Void still in the pool.
Yeah, I mean, I think Radiant probably should consider. The problem with Void though is that you don't have his
10
Witch Doctor
seconds
like left
remaining.
hanging. Like Void.
Dude,
Radiant
years
team ban.
ago, that was the combo.
Yeah, yeah, back in the day. I think it could still work for sure because Void can play off a Witch Doctor with Maledict with Death Ward or Skyrath Mage, and Kunkabo is obviously a very powerful combo with it too. It's also not
10
really like
seconds
the Void
remaining.
gets threatened on the map right now, which is Void's biggest weakness, where he can just be killed on the map whenever he
5
shows.
seconds remaining.
Right now, it's like Willow has to get like probably Blink Yules, maybe Yules Glimmer or whatever to walk at her or walk at Void. And Void can also by that time have like a Manta or BKB or whatever. So Dark Willow plus Invoker doesn't really threaten him. EMP obviously would be a big issue. EMP Vessel,
Dire team ban.
Anti-Mage Morphling.
Radiant team pick.
What are they considering for Radiant? What do you ban Anti-Mage Morphling to protect? Well, I guess it's a matter of is this carry or is this
10
mid?
seconds remaining.
Again, I'm looking at Templar Assassin. I think that
5
feels pretty good
seconds
this game.
remaining.
I mean, we got another Tidehunter in this game.
Yeah. Templar's not bad. You can put it both mid and carry. I still like Gyrocopter. Makes sense to ban Morphling A or
Dire
Morphling AM
team
if you
pick.
pick Gyro too.
Razor.
Okay. I ban Anti-Mage.
You were talking about the Razor last game,
Yeah.
actually.
It lanes well into Tide Hunter. I don't know if it does too well against Willow though in lane. I think it can be a little awkward. It's a really good Razor
10
game. They have nothing
seconds
that threatens
remaining.
BKB. So what do you pick for Dire?
5 seconds
Because
remaining.
Dire's carry probably has to frontline, like face check everything, but not care about being linked.
Don't need the core. I mean, they could honestly go for the Void too, honestly. But
Yeah,
Joker combo is always there.
yeah,
It's
definitely.
almost
It'd
too
be a
much
lot of
team fight
control
though.
too.
Because like, we're talking last game, Tidehunter. You're playing around this team fight ultimate so often. If you pick a Void, you're just relying on two of them.
Yeah, I think Void can also be threatened a lot more than the
Choose your hero.
on Dire team, Monkey King. Okay. Uh, Elaine's well into Breaker. It's also like not the worst thing against Razor because you can just pop your Wukong's command and like kite the Razor as much as you can, try to disengage from him. Like
Mhm.
never show yourself so you don't get linked. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of the Monkey King. I think you can just be hunted around the map a lot. And it's also like I don't really see how Dire makes any plays on the map outside of Invoker running around with Dark Willow. Monkey King can kind of link up too, but Dire's Radiant's cores are all really tanky and are going to play together naturally. Like Kunkka plus the two supports, and then eventually Nara with the BKB and Razor. And then Snow will like charge in and out of the map whenever he pleases. I think going into the game, I think Dire team, from what I saw, seemed like the way better. No, they seem like the significantly better team than Radiant based off of last game. So I think I'll give them the edge. I think Ashik, Ishik, my boy
Yeah,
on the
whatever
Monkey
it
King,
is.
my
Give it your
boy.
best
Uh,
attempt.
yeah, I think he'll do fine in lane. I think they just have
Played
to
really well
outlast
last
the
game, yeah.
Scarif. Yeah, he definitely did. They just have to outlast the Scarif Mage's mana pool. I think if they just don't give him a bunch of Jingu stacks up early, the Spirit Breaker and Monkey or Scarif can eventually chip him down. Like charge into him, concussive shot, disengage type thing. and that way you can like kind of gradually chip him down.
Prepare for battle.
I think Defy is gonna have a terrible time bottom lane. Razor Witch Doctor is gonna fucking slaughter this guy.
Well, is Beast Voker God? Do I need to?
I mean, Grandmaster and Roker too. This guy's is too good.
God.
I have faith.
He's got 91 games on Invoker. Like that's not that much. I feel
91?
this is a Smurf. He's only got 1,000 games total.
Oh no, he's a private profile for sure. Level 122 account. Master tier Magnus.
I
Yeah,
see
his-
Beast's account as he's Ancient 2, which makes zero
That's a
sense.
dog.
But he's got 8 games on Invoker in pro matches. So. 7. Not a high win rate though.
Dire walking into this.
They
I
get
guess it's in trouble,
3-man
right?
concussive shot there into the charge from Spirit Breaker. Of course, it doesn't dash you since he doesn't have that level, but still a stun nonetheless, as Tempest was able to dodge it, taking a lot of damage from this. But I mean, that's basically all it is. Just a lot of damage as they get another Kong shot. They are going to back way up, and maybe Arturius wants to dive this. He's got another Kong shot very soon. But I don't... Could he do it? Like, if he gets a couple more right clicks, no, he'd have to dive the tier 2. Might as well wait. See if Defy wants to try and dive. Do anything different, but yeah, I'll just pop a salve and walk back. But the fact that you're spending the salve this early is pretty big.
Yeah, sending Tempest to base as well. It's not a big deal because he has to reset anyways. We're putting Dark Willow with the. Oh no, I'm just mislooking.
I always think it, at the very least, even if they go back to base and they TP in, you're making them spend 100 gold on getting another TP.
Exactly.
So basically taking away their ability to respond to a gank in another lane.
Get nothing.
But yeah, early XP lead anyway for Sev. It looks like he got out-blocked, or he might have been a better block actually if he had it on his own high ground, but still getting a decent of harass into Beast. But this mid matchup, and Beast actually doing a nice job there dodging the Tidebringer, but it seems like it's Kunkka favored because obviously the Tidebringer is going to hit the Golem every single time too, and it's almost just another creep he can farm out. But oh, it doesn't do that much
3
damage.
denies in a row, a little awkward. I think towards the later levels of this mid matchup, I think Quas Exort and Boker can pull ahead. If he can keep his Forge Spirits up on the Kunkka. Kunkka doesn't really get a ton of armor outside of the Helm of the Iron Will. If he just rushes that for armlet.
I am missing First Blood. We lose Defy bot lane, and we're going to lose Nero too. I'm missing everything. I miss Nero to the very bottom of the screen there, but
They just ran him down with Static Link Plasma Field.
at the very least you get a return kill, but missing out on the XP.
Yeah, Willow's not level 3 though. It's not the worst case. And the wave's gonna be held under the tier 1 for a little bit of time. Flesh Canoe gonna pull now.
Slow into H-Slick. They might be able to get a couple right clicks. Snow gonna finish with a charge here. Turn around into a Boundless Strike. Is that enough? It is! They lose the Monkey King early in H-Slick. A little bit of a slow start after that. Snow is up to 8 CS. And looking pretty good. Bot lane, they're running down Defy again. Just the Static Link. He only gets 34 damage from a max duration level 1. Which is not as much damage as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it still
pattern is
helps.
2 losses because of it, yeah. Sev is also kind of pulling ahead so far mid lane.
This is like
13 to 5 to
complete
11 3.
opposite of last game almost too though. Snow had a relatively free lane for the Tidehunter, but this game the Razor can kind of just harass you out every single time you try and approach, especially now that he's got level 2 and a Static Link.
Beast is putting a lot of damage into Beast. Instead of putting a lot of damage into
At least he got an anchor smash off before him, but of course he's just going to have a lot of that damage come back if they continue to die for this here. They get a slow. Defy taking a lot of damage from the Maledict now too. Is still only a level 1 Maledict as Flesh Canoe might just die in the trees. Defy hiding in the trees. We lose the Witch Doctor, and Defy will eventually fall. No, Nira can't finish off the kill. He's going to have to back away. And Defy can use a salve. Almost gotta wait till level 2 Maledict is up there.
Yeah, Flesh Canoe tanked a lot of ranged creeps. They went aggressive when there's 3 ranged creeps and like, I don't even know, 4 or 5 melee creeps. Which is not ideal when your Witch Doctor has 2 base armor. He takes a lot of damage from that. This Witch Doctor Dark Willow right clicks in the ranged creeps onto the Witch Doctor, end up killing him. It's not the worst case scenario because Tidehunter still only has 8 CS, and 2 of those are on neutral creeps. But
top lane, Artorias gonna get stunned up. There's a Boundless Strike plus Aishlik gets his buff. The Jingu stacks, and it's just gonna be used to force them out of the lane. But look at the top 3 in CS though. We see a die for all-time kid. And well, on the other side of things, we lose Artorias as Aishlik just runs him down. And I think Jingu Stack's going to come up again, and Aishlik going to say thank you very much. Go back to lane. But yeah, I think now is the point where Kunkka is starting to kind of dominate mid. You see Invoker level 5. I think this is because he's just had an extra wave, but he's just shoving the wave in.
He's looking for the boat combo in Beast.
Beast pretty low. He does get a nice cold snap there, but avoiding a lot of the damage from the Sunstrike too. The TP just going to get straight up canceled by the Ogre. Actually, that wasn't Ogre. That was Tidehunter TPing. Weird.
Honestly, he probably should have committed the TP. Get the XP mid. Any chance you get where you can get like free solo XP, you should take, I feel, as Tidehunter. I'm also not a huge fan of the Soul Ring Rush on Tidehunter. You're against a Witch Doctor, so you can never really use that when you're maledicted, and like HP's your only resource.
Flesh Canoe looking kind of unhealthy here. Is going to get slowed up by Defy into a Sunstrike. There's a free one for Beast. Loses life earlier, but he can get a kill.
He did this last game too. Around like the 6-minute mark, he walked into the enemy triangle, placed a ward looking for stacks.
Oh, bounty!
God, I love money.
Well played by Tempest. Is Tidehunter back in the game? I think you probably want to give the Tidehunter solo XP here though. A little frowny face in that part, because you can just sit down in the trees on the
he's giving him solo XP. I don't think any creeps were actually dead when he was over there.
Okay, that's good at least. Well, now Flesh Canoe is there to sap some of the XP, so.
Just a little bit.
Oh, Flesh Canoe is going for the
He might
kill.
be in range. Isn't it like a full screen range? Is XP range? Oh, Flesh Canoe is going to make a hell of a play though. They had vision on the high ground.
Sun's coming in
Unfortunately, the coconut doesn't bounce back, but this time it's level 2 Maledict, and they're gonna spot the Ancient stack too. And Sev, can he actually finish this off? Does he have the damage?
I think you have to go for it without using a lot of damage. Yeah, I think Invoker's gonna shift over. I don't know if he can do this. He got punished, or the other team got punished too, last game, right?
I mean, if they're not gonna contest, like he could just take a little bit of time, and I still think this is worth it.
Yeah.
Broom Handle going to be very nice for him. Yeah, he's gotten everything but 1 creep as now they look for it. They still don't have a Ravage, but in comes Nira. They've timed this very well from Canoe as the rest of the team was starting to rotate. Nira's going to walk in, kill off the Tidehunter. And this is pretty big now.
Yeah, very good start for Radiant. Already 2k up. Winning or going
start
even
compared
on all
to
3
last game
lanes.
as they can maybe get Aishlik top lane looking for a charge from Snow. He wants to try and get a bash first before he commits the charge. Now he's just going to go for it. Get one more right click. The Boundless Strike saves him for a bit longer, but Artorias picks up the final hit. And 6-4 for Canoe. Trying to bounce back. I left up the wrong thing this entire time. Damn it. Well, it's only 8 minutes. Yeah. Well, anyway, whatever.
Sev being comboed mid. He's in trouble actually, right? And I got the wand off. Honestly, I was way wrong about the mid lane. I thought Invoker would be able to pull slight, like not ahead, but compete more with Forge Spirits. But I guess Kunkka just pumps out too much damage for them.
Wait, so that is his main account.
Beast? Yeah, Beast is like ancient something.
Oh, it must just be private then, because he has 2.5k.
Yeah.
How is he ancient 2 on that account? Or has it just been so long that Dota Buff doesn't pick up
No.
MMR?
From what I've heard, he's like legitimately ancient.
Jax, start plotting.
Nope, Tempest dies
We have
bottom lane.
revenge to mount.
I guess if he like only played mid, trying to play any other role would be hard.
Yeah.
Anyway. Bot lane, we still don't have level 6 on Tidehunter. We're 9 minutes into this game. As Nira kind of just dominated bot lane. And along with Kunkka, that's 2 lanes that went pretty well.
Even top lane went well too.
Yeah. They got kills
Yeah,
on the
Monkey
monkey.
King's died twice. Snow pulling up like a level ahead of Monkey.
He's even ahead of him on the net worth.
Snow is going for the Midas.
He could honestly, if there's another rotation, they could just kill him again. This is still level 5 Monkey King.
Yeah,
I think he's just
dead.
If Artorias goes for the Kong shot, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, 7's coming. Oh, don't even need him.
Yeah,
It'll be
Birdman,
hard
I
to
got it.
to get back in. Because the Invoker, who's the only playmaker on the team, which I'm pretty sure he's went to a Quas Wex in this matchup for sure, because like, now Dire team's kind of hanging where they have to keep plugging the laning stage because Invoker's rushed this Midas item and gone Quas Exort, while they have Spirit Breaker Kunkka running around killing everybody. Snow's going for a Midas, which, as I was saying, is a little, in my opinion, a bit too greedy. I don't think you want to, like, farm your way to a bigger lead. I think you just keep killing them. Like, Monkey King has no way of actually farming back into the game outside of maxing up Primal Spring, which means he has to show in the waves. If you kill him when he shows in the waves, he feels very sad. Invoker kind of has to show in the waves too, he doesn't really jungle. And Tidehunter is really far behind. I think it's like itemized stuff in Midas, like go Shadowblade BKB or whatever. I think you'd have way more impact as a Spirit Breaker. But Radiant team are definitely looking to pull ahead, getting both mid and top tier ones already. Very much opening up the map for them.
They're gonna, I mean, it's a very similar move to last game. They want to push the exterior towers. He throws every hub in a super toxic. That just sounds like sandbagging.
Yeah, well, you know, being toxic's like a kind of a bold TP.
Is being toxic sandbagging? I don't know.
No, I wouldn't say so.
I mean, technically.
They're gonna catch Nera in a second. They're holding this high ground. They definitely need to warden this cliff if they're gonna do this, though.
Cherney loses Guardian games. That doesn't mean that's his main. Big F. They're gonna find Nira here. Is they gonna pound this strike to lead in Artorias on a dominating streak, but is there any help for Nira? He is pretty tanky, but 4 heroes on top of him mean that guarantees the kill. The rest of Canoe can rotate though, because this was such a deep dive. They can maybe make them pay for for killing off of their Razor. Snow is gonna lead in with the charge here, and I think Artorias hit on a conch shot, but they're only going to be able to find the Dark Willow, but at least it's something. But still, a very big kill for Joker. Unfortunately, you lost the Invoker at the exact same time, but you'll take the trade.
They got a kill, though, which is very big.
Oh, and they're going to try and go after the Monkey King. The silence is there. Do they have the damage? The stun from Ogre, making just a bit of space. Out comes the Witch Doctor ulti. Flesh Canoe is going to take the kill. And looking a lot better this game is Canoe. They're up 11-5 with a 6k net worth lead.
It seems like going off of both games, team that plays aggressive and just fights nonstop wins. Like last game, Dire team played a bit more passive because they had the Tidehunter, obviously like a fault of the hero. So they played a little slower with the Luna farming, the Tide farming when they don't have Ravage. This game, Invoker, the only playmaker, has gone Midas. And they can't do anything because you have this Invoker Midas.
We haven't even seen a Ravage yet. Yeah, Tide wasn't even level 6 until recently.
It's very hard to Ravage because what are you ravaging? The enemy team is grouped up 3, 4, or 5 the entire game. Your best Ravage opportunity was on the Razor bottom. They didn't even need it. So like, it feels very sad for Tidehunter in this game because you're kind of in this position where you're rushing Blink Dagger, Brown Boots Blink, and you're like gonna blink Ravage, one hero, get Sunstrike, Bedlam, and run away. I don't think you can go for these big Ravagers in team fights. I don't think you win any team fights for a while. Because Razor will have his BKB. Once BKB gets popped, you have nothing to threaten him. And Monkey King is still finishing with Echo Saber, and he's going to be the one linked every fight. And then obviously Invoker is doing the Aghanim's, which isn't going to do anything against the BKB Razor. He's going to walk out, like, dodge the Ravage, not going to get stunned. Maybe Dire's biggest time is dodge fights as much as you can. Try to dictate some control in the bottom half of the map, if possible. And just wait for the Egg's Ravage timing, which probably won't come online for like 5, 7 more minutes, depending on how Invoker finds.
So maybe we were getting to a fight there, but we didn't quite get this time.
Nair might get caught again.
His BKB is done, right?
Yeah.
No, he's still about 600.
Very close. There's not going to be a fight until Nair has BKB, I think. I don't think Radiant team want to take a... Like, they might go for like a small 1 or 2 pickoff again, but I don't think they're going to go for a big 5v5.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no need to, right? Like, you guarantee that you win the fight with the 9-second BKB and ultimate from Razor, so why take the chance?
And Aishlik's still trying to find space around the map right now. It looks like Echo Saber is up.
Yeah.
Correct.
This is the problem with Spirit Breaker, right? Your Monkey King is like hiding in the trees because he can't show in the lanes, but if he doesn't show in the lanes, his map gets restricted on him. But look at he just missed 2 last hits because he's scared of Spirit Breaker. And obviously, he's not wrong to be scared of Spirit Breaker. He definitely should be, but that's
they
the
do
problem.
Get a smoke down here at the same time. I mean, this is a way to make space for your Monkey King, and now Artorias.
Yeah, they have to do this.
Yeah,
this is catch anybody who comes into Monkey King's territory. Make it way harder, because even if Spirit Breaker was in the area looking for a charge play, you have Dark Willow or whoever to set up Brambles for him. Good play by Dire. How they have to get back in the game going with these one-off picks.
Let's make it a bit easier for your Monkey King there. Plus, he got the kill streak from Artorias, so decent amount of gold.
Definitely not a small kill for sure.
Might look to the top lane though, as Nira is going to pressure that tier 2. And comes Sev with a big pull for now, at least going for the move speed there. They have a Ravage on this if they want to use it. Sev is getting incredibly low with the Sunstrike. They just bring him down. Completely focused by the entirety of Joker. And I think they might be able to get away scot-free too, unless they get a conch shot from Artorias onto a decent target. Aishlik still backing up from this. Artorias wants to fight. He's got the silence. In comes the charge from Snow. They get on top of Artorias, but couldn't quite finish off the Ogre. They just bring down Artorias. Instead, Aishlik got baited into the Witch Doctor. Flesh Canoe shows his strength, and they look for Tempest. Nira having popped the BKB. They at least can find 2 kills, but I think it's still advantage Joker's team because this whole time Invoker is just farming, and Beast had a very rough start to this game, so that's a very nice comeback.
Yeah, it was a very ambitious play by Sev there to try going for the Shadow Blade hit, the Tidebringer, trying to pump damage, and then he tried to boat, but like he got ravaged instantly, so he didn't get boat off, so he died waiting for his team to respond. I think that fight goes way different if Sev just pops boat, gets the run buff on himself, and just basically holds people in place until his team can swing in. Instead, he went for the way greedier play, going for the little bit more damage on Tidebringer hit, got punished.
Artorias still working on that eggs too, but yeah, very aggressive moves from him, especially in that fight too. We really wanted to look for more, but just a little bit too far forward.
Invoker's very close to Aghanims, so next Ravage is their go time. 50 seconds or so, you'll see a big smoke probably towards bottom lane. Sweep in, I'd imagine it'll be a sweep bottom jungle, go towards mid tier 1 if needed. See if they can catch any fight and go for any sort of objective they can. I think Kunkka's also should be going for BKB here. I think getting this like double BKB timing with when you and Razor are more or less unkillable.
They're going to get a charge on the Beast. This is a beautiful start if they can get off the Spirit Breaker ulti. They do with the silence from Artorias. find the Invoker again, plus X marks the spot on the Dark Willow. Of course, they can follow up with a right click here from Sev, but a nice spear. It actually misses Sev somehow. We can just finish off Tempest.
In the meantime, Nera's taking top tier too.
Will be a TP top lane. Do they
Yeah,
try and fight this?
Top lane. They're looking
It's a
for
blink
Razor.
on Defy. Nera really pushing his luck now with a couple of TPs in. Defy going to chase. He's got Ravage up, but they don't want to use it right there. I know a lot of heroes from Canoe are in the area. Time Kid gonna look for a D-ward, gets it off, goes for the stun, the Witch Doctor ulti into its charge. It's a lot of damage, plus the Maledict for sure dead on an Ogre match. But the Ravage onto everyone into the Cataclysm, finds 2 kills instantly. Defy with the brilliant backline Ravage. They might even be able to find Sev with the dust from Ashlik. Defy making his presence known, winning this fight, and they're going to find Sev.
Well, they hit the timing we were talking about.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, very.
Is that 2 kills for Invoker too? No, just 1.
Just 1, I believe. I think who got the other ones? I don't even remember. Tide got 1. Willow got 1, I think. Either way, that very much turns the game not fully around. It's still advantage for Radiant for sure, but makes it a little easier. The problem now is, as we saw last game, if Radiant just groups up and walks at you, you don't really have a counterplay. You just put all your...
Gonna get Yules onto Snow as they get a stun from All the Time Kid. A silence on his Tide. Push him back for now. Of course, he can get rid of that with the Kraken Shell. Snow gonna instantly get that charge canceled with the Cold Snap. And a great fight for Joker again, but maybe they lose one with the Monkey King on top. The Boundless Strike not gonna connect. Nera just walking through with the BKB. They've lost 3. Nera. The last 2 fights have really just been one player turning things around. It was Defy, and now it's Nera.
Yeah, that's basically what I was talking about. I feel like Dire did the same thing that Radiant did this game, where like Radiant aren't cooldown dependent. They get BKB, they walk at you, they fight you, and they win. And then Dire team, like when your Invoker doesn't have Cataclysm, you're essentially down 4,200 net worth. You are on par with the Skywrath Mage in terms of net worth. So don't fight. Your Aghanim's is basically dead net worth. It's like a little bit of stats and a little bit of health and mana. And then your Blink Tidehunter, your Blink Dagger is more or less worthless as well. You don't have Blink Ravage. If that fight happened like 45 seconds later, they win the fight or so. Or the fight goes a little bit better. And now Radiant Team can play a little bit more passive, farm their refresher, whatever they want, then fight on their terms, while Dire is probably going to force a fight if they can, because they have Ravage back up.
Oh, it's not going to be sitting bot. Are they smoked for this?
Yeah, they want to catch
find anyone.
I'm still very not keen on Snow not going for a BKB. It's like really hard for Tidehunter, for Spirit Breaker to walk through Bramble Maze, Cold Snap, Tornadoes, Ravage, all these like pretty low commitment spells outside of Ravage, and
Arturius is probably just dead here. No, he's turned it around. There's a offensive Yules there, but still Tempest is able to get away. Unfortunately, he just has the movement speed to get outside of the Skywrath ulti, so.
They almost have BKB on Ashik. My boy Monkey. Oh, Snow's coming in.
Is it flying out, actually?
They buy back on Artorias.
Instant buyback. Snow going for ulti. Can't quite get it. They have vision on Ishlik. Actually, they get the boat. It cancels the Ravage. It doesn't come out on time. Nera can go for the BKB. Snow dropping very low. Snow is gone, but Flesh Canoe lived. They will try and find Defy on the backside. Nera really taking this aggressive, now starting to drop low after the BKB's over, but Arturius also spent a buyback. Everyone just walks into his ulti. A double kill, mega kill streak for Nera, and Sev goes ham.
Wow. Yeah, it's awkward timing for sure. The Tidehunter blinked in literally as the boat connected. So they couldn't get the Ravage combo off right away, so they had time to fully move their heroes around and all that. And when losing the Witch Doctor and the Breaker, which is more than fine with Radiant.
That was just unfortunate timing, really. In that,
Yeah.
plus you get the boat buff right after.
It's a lot harder to burst them too. And now Radiant team can make any move on the map that I was talking about, because dead net worth on the Invoker and the Aghanims and tied no Ravage for 80 seconds. Makes it very easy for the Razor to farm up his refresher and make the play again.
Still no Roshan timing for either of these teams.
Yeah, I don't imagine either team really wants to go for Roche when the other team can, like, pseudo contest. I don't think Dire team take it fast.
Looking into Fi is going to go for this. Of course, the Kraken Shell is just going to get rid of the silence, but Arturia's dropping a little low. Is able to dodge most of the cold snap there. He doesn't have the silence. Going for the ulti on the beast. He's able to get away into the boat from Sev. Connects. They find two. Off to the side, Nira found the tide, and they're also going to get all the time kit. In comes a nice spear, though. Not going to save because of Arturia's had pause from Defy.
Beast needs to relog. That's unlucky.
Aishlik was just creeping in the trees there.
He's got his full BKB, so next fight, on Tide respawn, they can definitely just walk at them on Dire. Radiant will have to be a bit careful about that, but I think as long as they frontline Razor for most of these plays, it'll be really hard for Dire to take the fight. Because you can't really blink past the Razor if he gets Plasma Field out in time, and he has 12 seconds of BKB in a few seconds. Very hard for Dire to fight, but they have to find some way of wrapping in, getting onto the Spirit Breaker and the supports. Ideally, Kunkka 2 before BKB or Boat come out, and see if they can chip him down a little. It'd be very hard for Dire to get back in. I mean, both teams know for sure how Dire gets back in the game and how Radiant preserves their, or like further pushes their lead. Radiant just has to dodge the Ravage combo and then Ravage Cataclysm combo and push from there. And Dire has to find a big enough combo that they can win the fight and then dodge any fights after for a minute or two. And that's the problem, right? Every time Dire teams win the fight, they just walk back at them with Radiant heroes, and then Dire team has to back off.
Get Beast back. Like I said, we still got 45 seconds without Ravage, so I don't think they can go high ground here, but it should be a tier 2.
Yeah, I think Radiant will play it slow. I don't think they're in any rush. If they want a fourth, they'll go refresher than Aghanims on Razor. So we'll see what Nara and team on Canoe and the Flesh Canoobs, or yeah, that's the name. Whatever Radiant's thinking, we'll see by what Razor choose up. If he wants to fight, they'll go for the what do you think go? Probably Shiva's or Titanic, I'd imagine, if you want to just keep fighting, or you go Aghanims if you want to end. Let's see what they're thinking.
Oh, the Torrent connects onto H-Slick, but they don't have any. Just a random one from Sev. I mean, if that would have led to something, would have been huge, but just messing around. The net worth chart though is just insane. Kunkka and Razor way on top. Me starting to fall behind. 16k net worth lead in Dota Plus, saying it's about a 96% win chance.
Sounds about right, I feel. Dire always has a way of getting back in, but I feel like most of that 4% chance comes off the fact that Radiant team has to mega group up, get like 3 or 4 man Ravaged on top of each other.
Oh, this is the play. They have the Ravage up. They're going to find Flesh Canoe for free. And well, that is going to be the smoke spin. He's dodging some of this at least. That's the benefit of the Aether Shard. Maybe you can elongate this and go for a fight. In comes the BKB from the Monkey, but it's not really going to do much. They just have right clicks. He elongated it enough, and that's the power of the Witch Doctor Shard as Arturius finds 1+. All the time kit gonna drop. There's a charge on a Defy, but the TP finishes first. It's just that 1, or what is it, 2 extra seconds that Witch Doctor stays alive. They have to commit for that even further.
Very well played by the Flush Canoe. I don't know if he knew that they were smoking on him, but I'm pretty sure Radiant Team was somewhat aware that that was Dire's play. He broke the smoke. He had buyback if needed, didn't continue.
I mean, it seemed a little strange that he was walking up a high ground without really any vision on it, but
Yeah.
I guess they had these wards. Actually,
I
did they
think.
have? They just had the
I'm not
clip
super
ward.
Yeah, I'm not super sure. It's the most logical place for Dire to smoke to, though. They want to smoke towards Roshan area. That way, if you win the fight, you get Roshan to dissuade any sort of fighting when Ravage is on cooldown. So it's the most common place for Dire Team to move to. So I think I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say he knew that was their play. And just walk into them, break the smoke. You can always buy back and keep into the outpost because
Yeah.
that also is right where he
Well, and
died.
he got everything off too. He even threw a coconut
Yeah.
before he died. So.
Yeah, definitely. So
Still a
well played by
chase.
him, I think.
But a rough game for Aishlik. Snow is on top of Beast in the net worth.
Yeah, awesome Midas. I guess I'm just a hater of it, but maybe he's right. Not a hater. I don't think it's right though.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
They'll push into the tier 2 bottom. But is it high ground again? Ravage still not used that fight.
Razor took static link during duration, huh?
I think it's just you can static link the monkey or the tide. They both want to stay like in a certain area. Monkey especially because of the ring. But if you're okay with just standing within the monkey ult,
Yeah,
bunch of free damage.
I guess.
It's going for Shivas. But yeah, I guess on Nero we'll see.
I really feel like if you just go on the Atlas Storm Talon at 20, bought an Aghanims right here, like how do you fight into that? Like you're just gonna frontline your Razor, and it's not like you have to hit anything, so like you can play kind of further back. The only counterplay is like throwing out like tornadoes and bloodlusting towers, right? Like I don't know. I feel like the 20 talent choice is not wrong, but
Especially now that he already has refresher,
yeah, you're knocking off a lot of your damage because obviously minusing 0.1 isn't a big thing, but it makes your ultimate do 20% more damage, which is a fair amount when you get two 20% increases.
yeah. Sev, well,
Destroyed that guy.
yeah. That's just a dead Dark Willow. Classic
XP
Kunkka.
from Tempest.
Daedalus up.
Yeah, Daedalus Silver did a lot of damage. He got one shot, right? I didn't even see. Yeah, he's
think
got
it
one
was,
shot on
yeah.
Dark Willow. Yeah,
Probably with just
2200 damage.
the range creep there.
Yeah, he could have killed Dark Willow 2 times over. How much damage he did. That is crazy.
Go into the tier 3. It's bloodlusted right now, near, of course, without eggs.
Step lively now. Your admiral
Which is a little difficult and all too much to just sit there and hit a tower. Dark Willow respawning again. They get to play around that timing as much. And 2 minutes left on the Aegis. No real action with it yet. I mean, it's kind of just an awkward timing of they know Ravage is up, so they don't want to commit too much to the push.
It's hard for Dire to get onto the map too. Like Razor's about to show top lane. They have somewhat of a window to make a play if possible on bottom. But then the problem is your bottom wave and your top wave are getting pushed into you. So like, how do you really make a play without the enemy team knowing? They have to find a way to get waves out. If they keep playing like this, it'll be very hard for them to play. But then again, Spirit Breaker also like hard counters the idea of pushing a different lane at the same time.
Oh, Eggs picked up by Razor now. Now that I think I agree with you, it makes it a little bit weirder that he didn't go.
Yeah, because like as I said in the draft, Monkey King is not like bad against Razor because you just don't get static linked by him with Puck. Like he drops ring and run away or like hide under Glimmer or whatever or in a tree. So like you're doing more damage from Tidehunter or Invoker, but you're also doing Not less damage, but like,
Kind of caught in the middle right now. It's 40 seconds from the, I guess the Force Staff will save all the time kid from a stun for now, but Snow pretty far underneath the tier 3, kind of alone. Seb actually blinking in with the X, pulls himself back, and Snow at his BKB pokes him back into the Skywrath ulti, and there is no save at all for Ashlick. They lose Nira, as I didn't even see what killed him there.
He got to the tower.
Oh, he just probably got him. Just back to health, though, but instant buybacks from Monkey King and Dark Willow. They get the Ravage into the Cataclysm again. Some of them got to move, but they did lose Snow. All the buybacks spent here from Joker as Nira approaches back towards Ashlick. He's going to try and fight this. The Monkey King is, as they lose Skyrat there, and the Boundless Strike just bringing him down, and Witch Doctor ulti right at the very end. The Maledict finishes off Monkey King. They look for Seb. The crit just brings 2 down, triple kill for Seb. Yikes. And he got away as well because of the X marks. All the diebacks really just spent their Monkey Kings gone for the second time. Nira can just sit here hitting the barracks, and it's a top lane cleared. I think if Seb backs off, he's going to see that there's a regen rune. In fact, I think they have a ward that sees it.
What an animal. 400 health, like going to a Tide Hunter to try breaking critting him. I can respect it, but pretty funny.
God damn. 32k net worth lead, and Kunkka's on top. Yeah, and he does find the regen rune, so he can just go right back to the push. Again, Monkey King dead for a really long time here. Fortunately, Beast did not use his buyback, so they still have that in their back pocket.
Problem is, he's taking like 1700 damage a hit from Kunkka. If the fight lasts like more than 10 seconds and he's not in the perfect position,
top lane they look Mira onto the Tide Hunter. He's got no way out of this. There's no Force Staff or anything. There's a tornado there and an EMP gonna connect onto 2, but I don't think they worry about that too much. Dark Willow chased up onto the high ground, back past the tier 4s. All the time kid looks for a stun.
Knows in.
What a nice little tip there, and Tempest is gonna drop this charge from Snow, finishing him, and it looks like Canoe are bouncing back after losing game 1. They focus this mid-barracks now, and they blink in the Skywrath ulti, just cleans up 2. Snow, with some brilliant charges here, has cleaned up most of the enemy team. You only got Ashlick left on the Monkey King, as they are going to X back Snow. Regened up and probably just look for the mega creeps here, as I think they just spotted Ashlick. Be a little bit careful. And he's trying to make as much space as possible. It's Ravage up when Tide Hunter respawns.
Yeah, they're going for one final fight in 20 seconds. All their heroes are respawning basic. Oh, I guess not.
It's just GG. Maybe discussed it for a bit and decided there wasn't a chance.
Yeah. I don't disagree, but, you know, I thought they'd give it one more go. Well played by Canoobs.
Yeah, good comeback from game 1.
Yeah, I thought game 1, the Joker team looked way stronger, but I guess the draft, Joker team knew how to play their draft better than Canoe and the Canoobs. Honestly, probably going forward, I would imagine Canoe and the Canoobs are going to keep picking these low cooldown lineups that just fight you. They looked way better this game than game 1. And then I'd imagine as well, Joker team's probably also going to consider the same thing. I'm not saying to drop Tide Hunter, but I'm saying if you're going to pick Tide Hunter, I don't think you can go Quas Exort Invoker, and if you don't have like a playmaking pseudo carry or like a support duo that can do shit. Like, I don't think your only play can be Blink, Ravage, Cataclysm. There has to be some other alternative to doing something on the map. As we saw in both games, when Ravage is the focal point of your draft and the only actual plan you have of taking the fight, you win one fight, lose the next 2. Which obviously didn't go too well for either team.
Yeah, I think that sums it up pretty beautifully.
Fun series. Both teams played well.
I think it was very good. We're not quite to the middle of the season. I think we're still at the start of the season, but we could consider it season. But kind of just teams coming into form now. Canoe and the Canoobs going to 2-4 after tonight. Joker's team has won every single series they played thus far. Is 3-3. But yeah. Anyway, Journey, thank you so much for joining me on the cast.
Thanks for having me. Actually, had a lot of fun.
It's a good set of games.
It
Good
was.
luck whenever I'll play next.
I don't even know. Have to Bull Jacks. I think we play Saturday. I'll find out
I
probably
think so.
sometime later.
I thought I saw him post that. Anyway, you want to shout out anybody? I guess we could do the Badger Classic.
Does he show people out often?
He usually like has people shout people out.
Oh well.
Yeah,
Shout out my
you
boy
can
Bull Jacks. This guy's kind of good at the game. Not really, but you know, I'll pretend he is for his sake.
cheer him up a little bit. He's a lads champion. He doesn't need cheering up.
Yeah, exactly. He owned the last season.
Anyway, all right, guys. Have a good night. Go watch other series if there are any other on. Goodbye.